My name is Kendall Carter, and this is my oral assignment for Psychology 516 at Liberty University. To answer question 1, the textbook mentions multiple historical events that helped influence the research in organizational psychology. I think one of the biggest factors was the Hawthorne studies. These studies were originally set up to look at how big of an impact environmental factors had on the productivity of the employee. These factors included breaks, monetary incentives, and elimination. These studies became so important to the field because of what they found. What they found in the elimination study was that no matter the change in elimination, productivity increased amongst employees. This became known as the Hawthorne effect, which is the idea that no matter the change in the workplace, employees will respond positively at the beginning of that change. The Hawthorne studies also had a lot more profound findings that had a huge impact in the field. However, a more recent event that has made an impact is the growth in modern feminism. This has brought up discussions of equal pay, harassment in the workplace, diversity in power positions, and many more factors. This is leading to more research being done to ensure that everyone is being treated equally in the workplace. So far, the socialization process has been very isolated for my program. While I had to do an introduction discussion post for both of my classes that I'm in, I don't really still feel like I know anybody. I believe that this is due to the online nature of the program. It's really hard to socialize people who never actually get to meet face to face or even live in the same area. So there's not really that opportunity for bonding. And all of the work is also seemingly individual, so it makes it hard to make a connection through coursework either. However, I do feel a slight connection with the two professors that I've had so far in this program. They've both reached out individually and asked if I had any prayer requests throughout the week. They're also very open when I emailed them, asking for help or letting them know about a personal problem that's going on. And they've been really helpful, like I said, with that feedback, and also just giving helpful tips as well. So overall, I feel like the program is not that great at socializing newcomers, but I just feel that's in large part due to the online environment provided. To answer question number 3, I think a big part of preventing work-family conflict is socialization and benefits available through the company. A lot of times people are not only bogged down by at-home issues, but also by the fact that they don't really feel like they have someone to talk to about it at work or to get it off, just to get it off their chest. So if a company has a good socialization process, then employees would be a little bit more comfortable confiding in a coworker or even their boss. This could lead to getting an outside solution that they never thought of and solving their problem, or just getting words of peace from them. They also might be able to find someone with the same situation, form an even deeper connection, and to be able to go through that together. The textbook also tells us that family-friendly benefits have been shown to attract better talent to organizations, reduce turnover, and improve employee attitudes such as job satisfaction and commitment. So if a company is paying attention to what the employees need outside of work, then it will decrease the work-family conflict in the workplace. For instance, if a company is able to offer at-work daycare, then that would de-stress a lot of parents because they would not have to worry about who's going to be watching their kid that day or having to go pick them up in the middle of the workday. And it also takes away that huge financial burden of paying for childcare. So overall, I just think if companies, make sure they socialize their employees so that they're able to talk amongst themselves and really confide in each other, and also provide benefits that really take care of needs outside of the workplace as well as within the workplace, I think that can really decrease work-family conflict. To answer question number 4, there are a lot of great techniques for measuring job performance. The textbook lists out ways known as Murphy's List, and I think one good technique to use off of Murphy's List would be the job skills test. This would allow an employer to not only see the employee's main job functions in action, but also to see all that they do to go above and beyond their job description, as many people end up doing on their day-to-day work. I think this is one of the best techniques because it allows the employee to act in their natural habitat. And also, unlike pencil and paper tests that Murphy also promotes, you would not have to really worry about an employee not being good at test taking, or just not being good at being able to kind of express in words what they're feeling or their job description. And I think another good assessment and even self-check would be simulations. A lot of times employees and even employers can act out of anger and impulse in a certain situation. However, if they get written down scenarios of similar situations, they would have time to think about the proper way to handle it, and also have time to reflect on previous ways that they've acted out of line, and hopefully correct their behavior in the future. To answer question number 5, some common constraints in the workplace are norms, injustice, and stress. An example of a norm is that it becomes common in the workplace for employees to call out when they're not actually unable to work. This leads to counterproductive behaviors because the employee is not even at work to get anything done. It also makes employees who did show up to work that day wish that they had called out too, and causes them to even be less productive at work as well. An example of an injustice would be an employee getting a pay cut that was not deserved. This can cause an employee to possibly leave work early to get even with the company for docking their pay. They can also start to steal supplies to use at home to make up for the lost wages. An example of stress would be having a boss who constantly yelled at you for every little thing that you did, even if it was never your fault. This can lead an employee to talk badly about their boss and then in turn talk badly about the company as a whole. And when they complain to their friends and family about this, their friends and family could go on to badmouth the company to their friends and family. So in turn, it becomes counterproductive at work as well, because if you do not think highly of the company you're working at, you probably won't put forth as much effort as you would if you actually liked the company and your boss.